I thought would be nice, but hug my flower with your eyes. Flowers said that I wish I could be the tree, that I wish I could be a different kind of tree. That wish that it wasn't me, turtle wish that it could fly really high into the sky, over tops and then dive deep into the sea. And the flower will be its offering of love to the desert, and the desert so dry and lonely, and the creatures all of Daisy. One more time, the flower will be its offering of love to the desert, and the desert so dry and lonely that the creatures all agree singing together. Thank you. Cheers for the dancing. Awesome.
Hey guys, how are we going? So can we give a round of applause to the guys who just danced again? I think they thought to do that. Alright, so you might be thinking, what the hell is going on right now? Why have we come and invaded your space? So this is Dance for the Future. It's an awareness raising event for environmental issues. We all know climate change, all that kind of stuff's going to come hit us pretty hard. So we're here to really talk about the kind of things you can do to make small changes in your life to really help affect big changes more broadly. We've got a bit of a table here, we've got people ready to talk to you. Yes, come around and have a chat. We've got a speaker as well. I'm going to introduce Sean Murray from Quit Coal. He's going to talk about their project and what they're trying to do, and I think climate change stuff in general. So please give a warm welcome for Sean Murray.
Thanks very much, folks. My name's Sean Murray. I'm from a group called Quit Coal. We're part of Friends of the Earth, which is the world's largest grassroots environmental and social justice organisation. We've got a volunteer campaign, and I'm a volunteer myself. We run out of Melbourne, and we've been campaigning against the coal industry, particularly in Victoria, over the last couple of years. Basically, we're in the process of trying to build powerful grassroots movements to address the climate crisis, and that's because we can see that around the world we're already seeing the signs of accelerating climate change, and we see that it's an urgent problem that we need to do something about. And we don't think that governments or companies or society in general is really acting at the speed or the depth necessary to address this crisis. So our vision, I guess, is that we see the need for a huge grassroots movement in order to come together to address the crisis and demand an urgent transition away from fossil fuels and to renewable energy as a cornerstone of that. So one of the problems I guess we have is that there's quite a great disconnect between our lived reality from day to day and how the climate crisis is actually unfolding. So here we are, nice spring day, we're sitting out in the sun and enjoying life, and from our lived experience is that from day to day we don't really have an experience that we are in a time of crisis. Yeah, if we look at what the scientific community is saying and have a look around the world at some of our climate systems, we can see that yes, actually we are in the midst of this crisis, and we're at the moment, because there's huge inertia in the climate system, the emissions that we put in the air from the mid-1980s, we're only feeling those effects, and everything since then is still yet to come. But already you might have seen in the news recently the melting of the Arctic ice sheet, the summer ice. We've lost basically 50% of the summer ice sheet in the last, 20 to 40 years. So that, and we see that disintegration of the Arctic ice and the cryosphere or glaciers and other ice sheets around the world. That's already starting to happen, and in fact it's accelerating. In Australia and in Victoria, we've seen record droughts, record bushfires, record floods, and we can, what we've heard from, once again, from climatologists is that Australia is really very exposed to the effects of climate change. Anyway, it's kind of a hard thing to accept and to confront, but the scientists such as John Schellenhuber, Professor John Schellenhuber from the Potsdam Institute in Germany, are saying to us that we could face up to 4 degrees of warming by as early as the middle of this century, which basically means that less than 1 billion people would survive, which is obviously quite intense. It's an existential threat to global civilization and to humanity and to all species on the planet. So it's quite confronting, but I'll say it again in case you missed it, that by the middle of the century we could be facing basically mass extinction events and only 1 billion people left on Earth. And so that's obviously one of the worst case scenarios, but unfortunately we're already exceeding some of the worst case scenarios for our emissions. So it's quite conceivable that that current trajectory could become our reality. So in response to that, we need to urgently confront that crisis, and as another eminent climate scientist, James Hansen from NASA, he's one of the US's, well, arguably the top climate scientist in the US. He says that coal is the single greatest threat to civilization and all life on our planet. And that's because coal is the single greatest contributor to the climate crisis. So Australia is the world's largest coal exporter, and we obviously have a massive per capita contribution to climate change. So we are actually one of the countries that's most responsible. So what we've been doing in Australia, or the grassroots movement to halt climate change, is that we've been confronting the coal industry wherever possible, mobilising communities and trying to ramp up to stop the coal industry's